Ah, yes, the New York Central Railroad. A famous road located from New York to my state. Now, no. It lasted for 115 years from 1853 and merged in 1968 with its longtime rival, the Pennsylvania Road, to form Penn Central. But this isn't the case. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the 1953 New York Central Railroad accident. So let's begin, shall we? March 27th, 1953, near Conneuat, Ohio, 2.4 miles. Extra 1871 East was an eastbound freight consisting of two diesel electric units, 103 cars, and a caboose. It was moving on track number 4 at a speed of 36 miles per hour. The second train was Extra 1736 West, was a westbound freight powered by two diesel electric units pulling 120 cars on a caboose, and it was moving on track number 2 at a speed of 31 miles per hour. Number 5, the New York to Chicago Mohawk, was a first-class passenger train consisting of two diesel electric units, a mail car, two express cars, one baggage car, two coaches, one sleeping car, one club sleeping car, two sleeping cars, and one observation sleeping car. It was proceeding westbound on track number 1 at a speed of 76 miles per hour. Yeah. And the last train out of all those, number 12, the New York to St. Louis Southwestern Limited, was also a first-class passenger train. It consisted of two diesel electric units, one baggage dormitory car, two coaches, one dining, two sleeping, one coach full sleeping, and one observation. It was traveling eastbound on track number 2 at a speed of 71 miles per hour en route to New York City, New York to St. Louis, Missouri. It all started when an improperly secured load of pipes on a gondola called the 73rd car of 1871 East, which was Baltimore and Ohio Railroad 254 645, was loaded with 58 pieces of pipe. Each pipe was approximately 35 feet long and 18 inches diameter. The conductor found the side stakes had broken on the north side and part of the landing had fallen. He observed that the ends were high-tension bands used to secure the load were trailing over the side of the car, counting 49 pieces of pipe, and later made a notation on the weight bill. After he completes examination, he accompanied from the rear portion of the train and instructed the front wagon to assist in the moves necessary. Before the car was set out, he communicated by telephone with the train dispatcher to inform him of the delay to his train and that some pipe were missing from the car. The dispatcher then informed him that the accident had occurred. With all that being said, immediately east of the point where the accident occurred, 1871 East and 1736 West, moving on track number 3. The flagman of said train observed the stop signals given a right light from the rear platform of the caboose of 1871. 1736 West, He acknowledged the signals and immediately informed his conductor. The brakes of the train were then applied from the caboose by using the conductor's valve, and it stopped for the front end of Vincent, Springfield, Pennsylvania, 2.2 miles east of the point of the accident, and the flagman immediately proceeded westward to provide flag protection, and the conductor expected the train. The train crew read US 1736 West approached the point of action on track number 3 at speed of 31 miles per hour. When the locomotive passed the point at which the accident occurred, they did not observe any defective condition. The flagman proceeded to the rear platform of the caboose to expect extra 1871 East, moving on track number 4. He observed sparks flying for the vicinity of the running gear of a car by midway at the train. When the caboose passed, he gave stop signals for a white light, which were acknowledged. He then entered the caboose and informed his conductor of the defective condition he had observed. Immediately after, number 5, moving on truck number 1, approaching the point where the accident occurred at 76 miles per hour. The train moved on a curve to the right and was passing the extra 1736 west, moving on truck number 3. The engineer then observed that the truck immediately in front of his locomotive had been shifted northward to truck number 3. Before he could move, the brake valve to emergency position. The locomotive was derailed and collided with extra 1736 west. At the same time, the locomotive number 12 passed the locomotive number 5. As number 12 was approaching a point where the accident occurred at 21 miles per hour, the engineer made an emergency application of the brakes when the locomotive was passing the locomotive number 5. A fireman observed 5 flying steward criminals struck the truck number 2 immediately in front of the locomotive. A collision occurred before the speed of the train was materially reduced. Number 12's locomotive and the first 10 cars were derailed and collided with extra 1736 west. The 76 cars 1736 west was struck by the derailed locomotive and equipment of number 5, and the 75th and 90th cars inclusive were derailed. Immediately after the collision occurred, the derailed equipment number 5, which obstructed truck number 12, was struck by train number 12. The derailed cars of extra 1736 west stopped in various positions on or near the westward main tracks. The 75th, 8th, 81st, 82nd, and 84th cars were unfortunately destroyed, although the 76th, 77th, and 80th cars were badly damaged, and the other two cars' train was somewhat slightly damaged. A separation occurred between the locomotive and first car number 5. The diesel electric teams remained coupled and started about in line with the track in the front end about 740 feet west at the point of the accident. Both diesel electric teams were badly damaged. The separation occurred at each end. The first 6 cars in these cars stopped in various positions on and crossed the tracks and intermingled with the derailed equipment of extra 1736 west. The 7 cars stopped with the front end against the derailed equipment of truck number 3. The rear end on the train structure of truck number 1 and the other derailed cars started to line that truck. The first 6 cars were destroyed and the other derailed cars of this train were badly damaged. The locomotive and the first 9 cars in number 12 derailed. Separation occurred between the locomotives and the first car. The locomotive unit stopped in diagonal position with the front end of the first unit stopped for the westward. Main tracks about 95 feet east of the point of the accident. The second unit stopped at right angles to the tracks and with the front end against the electric corner of the first unit. Both units were badly damaged. The first 4 cars stopped in diagonal positions, intermingled with the derailed cars. The other 2 trains and the other derailed cars stopped about in line with the track. The first 2 cars were destroyed and the other derailed cars of the train were badly damaged. Here are the list of the known deceased passengers, so here I go. And I apologize for my microphone being crappy. The accident site was isolated from any main road. Only a muddy dead lane led from the crash site to a major road 2 miles south, and it soon became blocked by vehicles mired in the mud. The injured were either carried on stretchers or moved by hand cart to the nearest road. Some waited up for 4 hours to help. About 100 people were treated on the scene and 62 were transported to hospitals. The Interstate Commerce Commission investigated the accident. Their findings indicate that the lighting the Baltimore Ohio called 204-645 train extra 18 on east was not publicly secured for moving. were loaded because the high tension belts were not sealed properly, and a load was not properly secured. 9 sections of pipe fell from the car while moving, and the pipes fell from the car in question. One piece wedged between the truck structure of truck number 1 and the next car, a boxcar. As the train proceeded at a speed of 36 miles per hour, the thrust transmitted by the pipe to track number 1 moved truck number 1 northward at about 18 inches before the pipe fell clear of the cars. The damaged condition at the track was not observed before passenger train number 5 arrived at the point of the accident. The track was sufficiently damaged to cause the derailment of train number 5, which caused the derailment of extra 1736 west. Passenger train number 12 fortunately struck the road equipment before protection could be provided. The cliche lesson? Always keep your load secured. The cause of the crash was fire properly secure load, and that's it, folks. We learned a lesson here. Good night, everyone. Y'all here?